I'm Bill Pruitt. I've been a NAPFA member since 1985, and I really enjoyed the organization. So I'd like to be participating in this interview today. I originally had a job selling mutual funds, and you had to make so many appointments a week. And so Vern was one of my appointments. And that's when I first heard about such a thing, crazy thing called financial planning. And it made so much sense that I apprenticed with him. And he was on the board of NAPFA. And so he got me interested in the organization. And I attended my first conference in Washington, D.C. in 1985 at the Shoreham Hotel. There were 50 people present, about 35 were NAPFA members, and the rest were supporters, sponsors, that type of thing. But they could all fit in a small conference room. We were desperate for any information on financial planning. Back then, people were pretty much struggling on their own. There just wasn't much out there, and particularly practicing fee-only financial planning. There was a real paucity of information. And NAPFA really was a great source of inspiration and support for all these lonely people in all these different scattered places trying to find out what financial planning was all about. It really felt a need. It's a way to practice financial planning that really aligns with your soul, your whole passion of doing good for your fellow world travelers. And members are collegial, they're supportive of this type of ethos. So you feel good by participating in it because it's aligned with what you're all about as a person. At least for me, it did, or does. In 2009, I hosted what was called an Advanced Planners Conference here in Charleston. And it was in February, exactly 20 years ago. It was a very bitter weather. People had trouble getting here, ice storms and so forth. And we had what was called an oyster roast in our backyard. And it's basically people drinking beer and shucking oysters shoulder to shoulder, a lot of camaraderie. And it was just a great feeling, everyone being around each other, fires warming people up. It was just a great experience, a very bonding experience. I suppose in the long arc of my work in financial planning, be sure you have an exit plan. Be thinking about how you're going to get out of the business. It seems like a very remote thought, but when I made decisions about my practice, I always thought, what is going to add value to this practice? What is going to preserve the culture of this practice? And so those are hard decisions, but I think it'll greatly facilitate your exit one day, way in the future perhaps. At some point, you do need to have a good fiduciary turnover of your practice so that you preserve the culture of your practice to your clients.